Hey everyone, welcome to part 8 of our Mummy Zigger. We're still trying to get our first rune of this game. We're in the spider's nest at the moment. We had to run away from swamp because of Loney, and then the spider's nest has been really hard. If you caught the last one, don't worry, all crisis averted. Crises? All crises averted? Anyway, nothing too serious, everything's fine. And we have some breaking news in the world of Crawl. Dun, 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 dun. I need to actually figure out a breaking news theme song because I don't know. That humming is pathetic. So traps. We have had trap reform after I don't know how long it's been. 2 years since I first started posting about traps, maybe. We've got our first attempt at, I don't know, I was going to say fixing the system, but certainly overhauling it. So there are two main things that have happened here, although this commit's only showing you one of them. The first is that regular traps that are features of the dungeon are always revealed now. So shafts, teleport traps, notably Zot traps that are in the dungeon will always be revealed to you. And there's a new type which is called a dispersal trap. It's a permanent feature, so walking into it doesn't get rid of it. And whenever you or a monster hits it, it will blink everyone on the screen. I haven't seen one yet, but that sounds very interesting for Formicid to mess around with. And so you might be thinking, hell yeah, I'm never going to get trapped again because I'll see all the shafts and of course I'll never walk into one. Well, this is the second part that you're looking at here. There are now exploration-based trap effects. Basically, as you reveal tiles, as you walk around, there's a chance that you get hit by an effect. And it says at the top here, there's a chance of a shaft or an alarm trap, but there's actually an additional one which is being teleport trapped. So no, you don't get around them just because traps are revealed. Although note that the Zot trap effect isn't here. So it does mean that you will never accidentally get Zot trapped, unless that's another monster hitting the Zot trap, because you'll see them all, so just don't walk into them. So that bit's really nice. What do I feel about these changes and what do they mean? I'm not really sure how I should go about this, whether I should make a separate video where I just talk about the trap changes, or whether I make some Reddit post or devise a new playthrough that shows you what optimal trap behavior might look like now. But yeah, there is something I do want to show you though, or a couple of things maybe. So here we go. I've got a browser-based version of MS Paint open. I want to show you a couple of things. So the first thing is that I feel like I'm taking crazy pills whenever I have to try to point this out to people. So traps are no longer based on the tiles you step on, they're based on the tiles you reveal. So I have you see a lot of people saying, now it doesn't matter, now you don't have to keep track of what tiles you stepped on, or it's not like the exact path you take matters anymore. Let me show you something. So pretend this is, let's pick a color, let's pick pink, maybe purple. Alright, so this is your line of sight from the tile that you're currently standing on. That's everywhere you can see. So now we step to the left and we have a new line of sight that's like this. Doesn't need to be exact, and then we keep going. So these are all the new tiles we're revealing as we go, right? So this is a game keeping track of your line of sight. But so this is the area of the new traps that you've revealed. But let's also mark out how we did this through the tiles that we stepped on. We'll go red instead. Let's pick a big one. So first we had stood here, and then we went here, and then we went here, and then we went here. What does this look like? Sure, we're caring about the area that you see, but the area that you see directly translates to tiles that you stepped on. In fact, you can think of the tiles you stepped on as that individual tile and all the tiles that you can see from that spot. So I don't think that I don't think that caring about vision actually untethered you from tiles stepped on. They're directly related. It's not like your line of sight, unless you're messing with things like the darkness spell, it's not like your line of sight amount changes over time. It's always the same. So we're still not untethered from tiles stepped on. It is nice, for instance, in multi-tile hallways. So let's say we're in a hallway like this, and there are multiple tiles inside. It is nice now that you don't have to care about which exact tile you stepped on, because your vision won't change if we're just going left and right between the walls. So that bit's nice. But if we're in the open, we're still just caring about tiles. And I've seen people saying, well, okay, so this now discourages the use of tile marking with the exclusions. I don't think that's true. Let me go back to my game. Okay, so the game does now keep track of your vision. So you don't have to mark tiles, but if I were actually trying to engage in optimal trap behavior, I feel like I probably would still mark them, because what is faster? Looking at an exclusion on the floor to figure out where you've been before, and you're like, okay, well, I can just follow those, and then I definitely won't accidentally be revealing new tiles. Or you could actually look here and be like, I keep saying like all the time, I'm sorry. I didn't plan out this, I'm sort of just free-forming my trap thoughts as we're going. Okay, so we can look at this and you'd say, I know, alright, I need to now translate this vision here into which exact tiles I'm safe to step on, because they won't reveal new ones. So it's like there's an extra step here where you're translating the vision into the tile stepped on. And maybe you're exceptionally good and quick at doing that, but I suspect for me at least, it would be faster and easier to just stick to excluded tiles on the floor. And especially with corners and pillars and stuff, it's not always immediately obvious which tiles you stepped on led to which exact vision. I'll point out one more thing and then we'll leave it for now. So it is true that a given floor has a certain amount of tiles that you'll need to reveal. So you might say, hey Ultra, let's say there are 1,000 tiles on the floor, just for argument's sake. So Ultra, if you're going to full clear the floor, you can just auto explore now. It doesn't make any difference, because you're going to have to reveal 1,000 tiles in total, no matter which way you go about it. So you don't have to worry about your optimal pass through those 1,000 tiles. That's not quite true. So what emerges now as optimal trap behavior is that you want to try to reveal as few tiles as possible when you're early into the floor, because being shafted, of course, you don't want to happen early into a floor. So let's say you just come down to D3. If you get shafted right at the beginning of D3 and you get shafted 4 floors, or 3 floors, oh man, this is hard to say. Okay, we went to D3. Early in the floor, we got shafted 3 floors. But because we don't have any of the D3 experience yet, it's effectively like we're being shafted 4 floors. But if you got shafted at the end of that floor, it is actually more like you've been shafted 3. So you want to shift the areas that reveal the most tiles to the end of your exploration rather than the start. So it's sort of funky optimal behavior going on there. And there was another thing. Another thing is that you might effectively explore the floor. So we might have attracted all the enemies to us. We might have looked at most of the areas, but not fully done it. And then if we didn't care too much, or we were happy to wait a little bit for loot, what we might do is continue on exploring with the dungeon, and then once we're 3 floors past that cleared floor, where we no longer care about traps, we can go back and fully explore without any of the threats of traps. Because we know that we'll never randomly run into Zot traps, so that's also kind of funky too. Anyway, that's sort of my 10-minute first impressions of the new trap system. So, is it good? My initial feelings is this system is probably better than the last one. But if you're thinking, or if you're asking, does this solve all the strange optimal trap behaviors that one might have to engage in that are tedious? No, it does not. And my suspicion is that you'll probably never devise a system that works with random traps that also won't have some strange, tedious, optimal behavior with it. I doubt it's possible. Anyway, let's play this game again, and maybe, I don't know what I'll do. Tell me what you think. Should I make a video? Should I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll probably just ignore you all anyway and do whatever I want, but you can throw your 2 cents in. Okay, the current game. We're training a bunch of random spells. In particular, we're training armor so that we can perhaps go towards the Pearl Dragon scales that we've got waiting in a shop for us. We're also training evocations for our wands and the crystal ball of energy. LOL. And spellcasting, because there are a bunch of different spells that we want to learn. And in fact, we've got 4 spell levels free, and Pass Wall is 3% to fail, so I think we just learned that. That's a really good spell just to have access to. We don't have any digging, I think. Indeed, we don't have digging, so Pass Wall is really nice because we can potentially escape through walls. And the Spider's Nest, we are in wall territory now. Alright, so Spider 4, it's been super hard. Oh yeah, I just forgot, there's a ghost moth here. Oh yep, I completely forgot. Right, at the end of the last episode, we escaped from the ghost moth. Okay, well that was my bad. I should not have gone back down here. Totally debated, because when I was looking downstairs, I was like, there's nothing here. There's nothing to be afraid of. No, there's a ghost moth. Oh dear, okay. Well, let's quickly try to cast some summon mana vipers before we lose all our magic points. If I had a good read on where the ghost moth was, say I had sensed it, we could have potentially sticky flamed it, because an invis monster that's sticky flamed is revealed. But we don't have that luxury, so we're trying to make some mana vipers. We didn't quite have enough magic points to make a second one, right? Oh, it is a level 5 spell. Alright, never mind, we get to make a second one. Sweet. Alright, so I'm guessing it's here, based on what our mana vipers are doing. They can see it. So I'm just going to tab forwards. Nope, it wasn't there. It's probably here then? Nope. Where is it? Is it guarding the stair now? Yeah, okay, it's guarding the stair. Alright. Well, I don't want to randomly die. So we're not skilled with the Demon Trident. It's taking us 1.3 to swing with it. Oh man. I probably shouldn't have been doing this. Because the Ghost Moth is fast as well. So especially if we're doing a slow action, like swinging with a Trident we're not skilled with, it can have multiple attempts to hit us. So I'm going to stand behind our Mana Vipers. So we're going to say it's here. Can we actually help in any way? We can shoot some acid ones down here. Oh, good, okay. So the acid did indeed hit it, and then the Mana Viper killed it. Alright, so that's that Ghost Moth menace down. That was really bad of me. Completely forgetting that the Ghost Moth was there. Very, very scary. Let's make some more friends. Like that. Cool. There's an entropy weaver. Yeah, this is okay. Or is it? Probably not. I'm gonna spam more Mana Vipers, but as soon as the Entropy Weaver is gonna catch us. Now we got Orbs of Destruction flying in. Okay, no good. And I'm gonna X this stair out so I remember. Don't go back there, Ultra. It's a death trap. Here's a Spark Wasp. We don't have RL like normally. I have a feeling that we have some means to get it, or maybe I'm crazy. We have a gnarled staff which I haven't tested. Okay, it looks like we don't have a means of getting RLEC, but we do have a bunch of wands with some evocations training, so we've got a 50% chance just to paralyze it. Alright, good, got it first go. Note that we immediately see the teleport trap. The way that you used to find traps is basically just your experience level. The higher experience you were, the higher your chance of finding it. But now these ones will all be revealed. Which there's another interesting thing about this new trap system. So in practice, with the old system, you basically got trapped more in the early game. Because it's like there's a constant rate at which traps spawn, but the lower your experience, the less likely you are to notice them. So you got affected more early game. And then in the later game, you probably noticed most of the traps you came across, so you were affected less often. With the new system, how often the exploration trap affects you is tied to depth. And in fact, it gets higher as you go longer, which means you're going to be affected less often in the early game and more often in the later game, which is interesting. That's probably a good change because traps punish you most in the early game when you don't have the resources to deal with them. Whereas this is good, so maybe you less frequently get shafted to your death early game, but then you're going to have strange and wonderful experiences with traps when you're, I don't know, in vaults or I don't know, doing rune branches or in depths and that sort of thing. And you might be thinking, oh no, I'm going to be shafted into vaults 5 and then I'm just going to die randomly. No, the exploration effect, it respects, I don't know what the flag's called. Anyway, there are areas of the game that you can't be shafted into, and they are into rune vault floors. So you'll never be shafted onto Spider 4, you'll never be shafted into vaults 5, and so on. So don't worry about that. Maybe we should learn some Demon Trident. No, there's really no need. We will at some point. I mean, we're doing Zigs, right? So we're going to have effectively infinite experience. These exploration traps as well make it even more powerful for us to just stand on the stairs for tens of thousands of turns as a Mummy of Gozag and just yell all the monsters to us. I don't know if you noticed in the commit, but it talked about how you're sort of discouraged from doing weird scummy behavior because you're trying to get the experience from fighting monsters. But we'll get all that experience if we just yell it all to us at the stairs and we're not actually exploring anything. Oh good. I don't know, that's not a huge issue. Let's go back up. We're sort of hurt, our magic points are getting low. And we just got jumped on by the jumping spider. Funny that. I'm thinking whether I should enslave this wolf spider or I should random blink. Random blinking might be really dangerous depending on where we land. We might land on the teleport trap. I'm going to do that anyway. Alright, it kind of worked out. Did it? Yeah, because now we can just enslave this redback. Good. Enslaved spiders are really effective at fighting other spiders because they're all venomous, but then they're all susceptible to poison. Here's the entropy weaver. I like how this happens. So the entropy weaver is not technically a spider. I think they're supposed to be formicids more or less. That's my understanding anyway. But because they're not spiders, they're not immune to the web traps. So they do get caught in them. You'll notice that happens as well with spark wasps. And do the emperor scorpions get web trapped? I can't remember. This hurts and we're crowed -8. Let's enslave the redback again. I don't really want to go upstairs with these two guys hitting us while we're crowed -8. Oh, we failed. We might be getting into fear scroll territory right here. I don't want to random blink. I don't want to land anywhere near the entropy weaver. But he's fast, so if I spend time doing anything, he's going to get on top of us pretty quickly. I'm going to give one more enslavement go at the redback. Got him. This should do it. Yeah. My summons are going to kill the entropy weaver. Good. We are super corroded, but that doesn't matter when we're not the ones fighting. Not doing a good job of dodging those. I had someone tell me once in the comments that I'm actually pretty poor at dodging orbs of destruction. I don't know, is that true? Am I bad? Maybe. Spellcasting to 13. We're taking it to 15. Alright, that's fine. We should, with armor at 6, we should maybe, once we get this rune, I might go test the Pearl Dragon armor. And by go test it, I mean just test it because we're carrying it around. I remember now, we already bought it. Okay, that one I wasn't trying to dodge. I actually just didn't even notice it until it hit me. So that one's not evidence. Okay, if you're making a compilation video of me getting hit by them, don't include that one. I didn't like this. What was at the other stair though? That's probably the entropy weaver that we just fought. I think we can safely go back there. Oh, we've also got a stair that we just don't know. Although it's kind of dangerous. So you can't be shafted off stairs, that's nice, but I assume you can be teleport trapped off it. Going downstairs is relatively very dangerous when we're talking about traps, because if you're just walking around, say you walk in a straight line and you're revealing a whole line of vision, that's revealing 15 tiles at once. If you're walking around one tile over from the known, you can be revealing one tile each step. So that's obviously the most safe. But when you come down a new tile, a new stair like this to a new area, or you've just read a teleport trap and you've read a teleport scroll and you've landed in the unknown, you're revealing a whole screen's worth of tiles. So it's like you're rolling how many? 15 times 15, however many that is. That many tiles all at once. Is it 15? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, it's 15 times 15. That many tiles all at once. It's a lot of tiles. So yeah, I don't know. Going down new stairs? Scary, maybe? Let's try this stuff. It's wizardry. Alright, this is nice. Okay, this might make us want to use the Pearl Dragon scales. So 20 AC, 10 evasion, as opposed to 12 and 17. This is what, 39? And this is, wait, that's not right. This is 30. The other one's 29. Yeah, okay. So this is now higher, although only by 1. And as for our spells, this is, or even with wizardry, everything's kind of sketchy. Without wizardry, everything is super sketchy. We have 5 enchant armor scrolls though, so we could have a lot more AC. I think we're just not ready yet. Also our strength is a bit drained. Encumbrance rating is 11. Yeah, okay. So we've got 10 right now. 11 when we've got all our strength, which is fine. As a general rule of thumb, you want to have equal to or a little bit more strength than the armor you're casting. As a super general rule of thumb. So I think we're not quite ready yet. We're also losing a bunch of int and strength as we switch out of the robes. So it's a bit misleading. When you look at this, you think, oh, we got 15 strength. We can easily put on the Pearl Dragon armor, but we're not quite ready yet. That's only going to improve as we get more armor skill. So we're going to get more AC out of it, and it's also going to lower the spellcasting penalty of wearing the armor. So we'll get there, don't worry, but not quite yet. Finding that wizardry is really, really nice though. Hey, there you go, I dodged that one. We've still never seen a regular shield. Yeah, only large shields or bucklers. Okay, this is an open type, which is probably why we've been getting swarmed so much. A lot of these spider 4 vaults have a door on it, so you don't get swarmed in the, oh, storm dragon scales. Alright, well that's too heavy for us, but that's a way to get RLEC, which is interesting. Let's ID this scroll. Its acquirement, alright. Okay, thinking. Alright, acquirement's interesting because as Gozag you can always acquire gold, which is always valid. But I think, what do we want? We don't care about weapon. We could get some jewelry. Our jewelry is really quite crappy. We're walking around in a ring of fire and a ring of protection from fire. I should clarify. I'll say this with clarity. Our amulet is actually really good. It's just our rings that are crappy. I'm going to do /- though and have a look at what jewelry we don't know. There's still quite a lot. Until the later parts of the game when you've already found most types of jewelry acquirement can be really, really bad because it's weighted towards giving you things you've never seen before. So it wouldn't be that amazing, or sorry, that unsurprising if we just got a ring of sea invis or a ring of resist corrosion or something like that, which would be really sucky. We might be better off going armor. We've got a plain cloak, plain gloves. Apparently our game has never spawned any boots. That's true, no boots whatsoever. So there's a good chance if we acquired armor that we'd roll boots, which I'd be pretty happy about. So I think we're gonna go armor. Books I don't really care about either. We've got books out the wazoo. Let's go armor. Always acquire armor on the B key. Embroidered hat. Not quite the boots we were looking for. It's a hat of int. That looks awesome, but helmet of int is going to be better than a hat of int every time. Unless you're a Minotaur, of course. Alright, so that was a no good. Ah well, these things happen. Alright, so as I was saying, this bit's open. So we can stand back here, make a lot of noise. Oh, we've got an orb of destruction from behind us. I'm gonna sit behind my summons. That one's definitely not hitting us. This one might. Let's randomly blink. There you go, dodged. Is this the rocket ship ending? I think it might be. Anyway, let's get some summons out. We're gonna yell. We're gonna try to get the spiders to trickle out to us, and that way we're not gonna trigger traps. Well, no, we're not really trying to avoid triggering traps, but we are trying to pull things out to us. We've only seen one ghost moth and one shock, whatever that thing's called, spark wasp. We haven't seen any emperor scorpions or anything like that yet. So it's telling us there are probably still some really scary monsters in the end vault that haven't trickled out yet. And especially if there are moths of wrath, we need to worry. I wonder, there'll be some subset of you who know the map I'm talking about when I say this is the rocket ship ending. Let's yell a bit more. Nothing coming. It's alright, we're not in a hurry. We have no food clock, we have no piety decay. Just take this nice and chilled. Alright, get 'em, boys. This is just the way we like it. One at a time, where we can do 3 versus 1. Oh yeah, we have a blowgun. Okay. I don't know, I never remember these things. We have 1 curare needle, is that right? Okay, cool. We just found at least 1 more. We found 2 more. Excellent. Huh. Do you see that? Both the snakes got trapped. Let's do a bit more yelling. Okay, another spark wasp. I don't want to mess around with that. I'm just going to go straight for the paralysis. 50% fail, 50% fail, 50% fail, 50% fail. This is statistically unlikely, so we just failed 5 times in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now there's a second one. Okay, 1 spark wasp at this stage of the game when you have RLEC is scary enough, let alone 2. So I'm gonna read a fear scroll now. I do not want to mess around with those. One of them got feared, so I think let's keep trying to paralyze this one. We failed again. That's 6 times in a row, 7 times in a row, 8 times in a row. Can we make it 9? I'm morbidly curious to keep going. It's actually a really bad habit of mine when this happens. I was gonna say double down, but at this point where I don't even know the word for when you do something 9 times in a row, you double down that many times. Yeah, can't get that high. I would keep trying, but we've now got at least 2 ghost moths turning up and an Emperor Scorpion. So I think the time is right to read a teleport scroll and try to get out of dodge here. Alright. I'm considering whether I should be doing something to try to help with the Spark Wars situation, whether, because these few turns while we're waiting, I'm opening us up to taking attacks, but I think we're okay for a few turns, and we're most likely we're going to land out here. So it's not guaranteed, we might just land even further in and make our situation worse, but we can assess that. If we do, we can always dip into the potion petition menu that we haven't done yet. There we go. We landed back out, so we're safe. But man, 8 times in a row failing 50%. It's even worse than that, right? It was 52% or something like that. Alright, we're gonna try again. Maybe I should enslave this guy. Let's paralyze him. Yeah, 52%. Okay, we failed 9 times in a row. Can we make it 10? We can. 10 times in a row. Alright, we got him on the 11th time. And that will show him. Let that be a lesson to you, Spark Wasps. No one can resist ultraviolet fours, or sorry, let me start again. That was an abortion of a sentence. Okay, let this be a lesson to you, Spark Wasps. None of you can resist Ziggy Goldust's paralysis wands 11 times in a row. And we are being watched by something. Okay. Unfortunately, our Mana Vipers are being distracted by the Emperor Scorpions. So I'm hoping I can just get away before we get run down by an angry Ghost Moth. Oh, we're definitely being run down by it. There's no point trying to hex it. You're never going to hex a Ghost Moth. Their MR is way too high. I don't really want to shoot wands at it because, as far as I'm aware, our Mana Viper's never actually attacked it, so it's probably full HP. And we have no magic points. Don't really want to read a teleport due to the chance that we might end up in the end vault and make our situation worse. I think we just keep running. Oh, there's another one out here. Okay, so we are in trouble. We've got double Ghost Moths right now, and we have no magic points, and we have no effective Mana Vipers to help. We've only got one who's nearly dead anyway. So what do we do? We might need a just teleport. So not Mana Vipers. Ghost Moths can't see invis, so going invisible yourself is a decent way to fight them. Although you hopefully do that in the beginning so that you don't lose all your magic points. So we could potion petition to try to find invis, but I think we probably don't need that. And we can't really fight anyway because we can't see them and we have no magic points. So probably we just teleport here and we land outside but over in this corner. Scroll of Summoning probably doesn't help us here. Sack of Spiders probably doesn't help us because we're still at the point where we're going to get regular spiders mostly, and none of those guys see invis. Wand of Clouds, if you roll fire, can do something, but they're resistant to poison, so rolling poison clouds, mephitic clouds, those don't help you, and they're also resistant to cold, so cold clouds don't help you much either. You really need to just get fire. So we could try that, but I think we just don't even mess around. We just read another teleport. And we just roll really well. Oh wow, we rolled exceptionally well. I was like, perfect. Amazing. Alright, I couldn't have planned that better. Alright, so we now know there are a couple of Ghost Moths coming at us. Let's preemptively get our Mana Vipers out. Oh, I'm gonna yell. Alright, we're being watched by something. So there's one up the top, up there we just noticed. Alright. I can't really instruct them to attack. Alright, they're fighting it. Oops, stepped forward. One Mana Viper went down. Our issue here is that the Emperor Scorpion's going to turn up too, so I think I've done this wrong. Let's try for the Clouds play. Oh, we got poison. Alright. Oh, okay, well it died anyway. I feel more experienced. So it turns out the Mana Viper just succeeded in the end. Emperor Scorpion's also resistant to poison, so this is useless. Pick the new stair. I don't want to be going down next to an Emperor Scorpion. We've only got 12 AC and those guys hit really hard. Let's yell again. Let's see if we can get the other Ghost Moth. Man, who knew it would be so hard to get a rune? When you look at the early game of this character, it was a breeze. We were doing so well and so strong. We were doing so strong. Oh man. My English has not been my strong point this episode. I don't know where that other Ghost Moth is. I don't even know where the Emperor Scorpion is anymore. There you go. You feel you were being watched by something at player only. Okay, that definitely seems like that's not supposed to be a thing. What happened there? Oh, my Mana Viper just timed out. Okay, well this isn't good. Let's Acid Wand where the Ghost Moth is again. Uh-oh, our other one timed out. Alright, new play. This is the same as the old play, but we're basically just going to Fan of Gales, the Ghost Moth away. Or attempt to, and go back upstairs. Success. Pick a new stair though. Alright, so we learnt the downside of preemptively casting your Mana Vipers. They might time out. Alright, where's the Emperor Scorpion? Go away, Ghost Moss. Ah! There are 3 of them! We already killed one and there are 2 more. Alright, I'm just gonna... The Emperor Scorpion's on top of us and there's a Mana Viper. Even though the Ghost Moths are fast, they're not gonna get on top of us here. So I'm just gonna loop back around and then go back up the stair. Oh, this is painful. Okay, back to the other stair. We're just gonna stand here for thousands of turns and yell. New plan. Something, they're wandering around, there you go, so they'll eventually turn up. Alright, there we go. Look, we've even got some mana, so we can sticky flame it. There you go, and we revealed it. And we can help. There you go, that's a lot easier. Alright. We're doing it. We're gonna stand here yelling. I don't care if it takes me 10,000 yells. Oh, you know what I can do? I can actually automate this. So if you press insert, wait, yeah, it's the repeat key. So I can say, how many times do we want to repeat yelling? Let's do 1,000 times. We're going to repeat TT. Apparently that doesn't work. 1,000 TT. Okay, it seems like oh wait, or maybe we were doing that because the Ghost Moth has turned up. Is that, were we yelling? Oh, we were. We did repeat yelling thousands of times. Okay, so it worked. I was thinking the yelling menu wasn't designed to be done with this repeat key. Alright, look, we actually did just yell God knows how many times. Alright, it worked. Optimal mummy strats. So the one ghost moth has turned up again. So we're gonna do our mana vipers. I don't know where it is, but I'm guessing here. No, it wasn't. Or did we kill it? No. Alright, so I'm not sure where it is. And this is getting scary. I didn't go back up. I don't know. I don't think the ghost moth was adjacent to us there, which helps. What doesn't help is that the demonic crawler is faster than us, so we can't really fight it without any friends. And also has extremely good MR. So what's my plan? Get enough magic points for a random blink. Take the hatch down? No. Can we get back to the upstairs before it catches us? Yes. Alright, we're good. I mean, ghost moths are always a massive problem for characters with low AC and who need their magic points. But it's not normally this hard when you have summon Mana Viper. Oh, we're being watched by something. Alright, it's working. There it is. Okay. I'm just going to reach with the spear. I'm just going to hope our Mana Vipers win. They did. Here's the Emperor Scorpion. Good. So I think there's one more Ghost Moth walking around. I'm going to X out our path into the rocket ship, and we're going to Shift X Control F to just explore around and make sure, yeah, I knew it, that there's not still a Ghost Moth out here somewhere. There was. It's in front of us, which means we can sticky flame it. And let's just look again, just in case there's not. Shift X Control E removes the exclusions, and then let's continue on with the end bolt. We know there's one more Spark Wasp running around somewhere, and God knows how many other Ghost Moths. Oh yeah, Crystal Ball. Nice. We can have our mana back up for when we meet the Spark Wasps. Paralyze it. That one worked. Yeah, so we taught them a lesson. Hey look, there's our rune. Alright, let's grab that first rune. Nice. Gossamer Rune of Zod. First rune, wasn't even hard. And we're done exploring. Okay, have a look at the mini-map there. Do you see the rocket ship? That looks like a rocket ship, right? Yeah, that's definitely a rocket ship. Alright, cool. So what do we do now? I don't know that we're ready to fight Loney yet. Look at our stats. When Ghost Moths hit you, they can steal your stats, so everything's a bit of a mess right now. Shopping list. Okay, not important. We've got 7,000 gold, so maybe we want to make some more shops. One way that we could deal with Loney is we just make an evocation shop, and we just hope it has a phantom mirror in it. Is that legit? We're still looking for some of the other evocables, like the Lamp of Fire and the Fire of Floods. They'd be really good. So an evocable shop would be pretty good. Let's give it a go. We're gonna go back to Orc 2. That's where our other shops were. Go over here. Let's call him merchant. Gadget shop, perfect. That's an evocable one. We also have assorted antiques and a jewelry emporium. If I weren't specifically looking for evocables, I'd probably go with jewelry, but we are going evocables. No phantom mirror, feels bad. Although there is a lightning rod, that's nice. Box of Beasts is really good too. Let's get the lightning rod. And as well as, oh, digging wand. Perfect, okay, I regret nothing. And there's no point having multiple lightning rods, they don't stack. But, oh, we got so much gold. What is a couple hundred? Let's just buy the paralysis, the disintegration, and the box of beasts. Alright, the random effects, we might come back and get those later. Are there a million random effects everywhere? quite a few. Okay, you might be thinking, why do you care about random effects? I don't know, you'll see later maybe. So that means we can't still really do learning. I had someone suggest one way to take him down would be to read a vulnerability scroll to Harvey's MR and then try to hex him, which could work. So that's one way we could do it, or we could just basically leave it until we find a phantom mirror, because we can go into vaults now that we've got a rune. Probably that's the play. We could also go do elf now. We've got plenty of MR, we're not going to be banished. And we have the silence spell, so if we get whacked for a crystal spear for most of our HP, we could silence. I don't know, I'll think about this one. But that's going to be it for this episode. So if you come back in the next one, we'll probably be going to vaults or elf. I don't know. See you then.